Today we're going to be talking about solving equations. And so your objective today, I will demonstrate my mathematical ability to solve equations utilizing the mathematical properties through class discussion. Alright, let's go ahead and look at some steps that we're going to use to solve these equations. These steps for solving equations are going to be very similar to that of when we solve for expressions, except now we have the equal sign that we have to deal with. But your first step, like before, is to write your original problem on a separate sheet of paper. Alright? Then, the next step after that, if I need to, is I'm going to change all subtraction to addition. I do that by adding the opposite. Then, if I have parentheses, I'm going to use the distributive property. Once I've done that, then I'm going to combine my like terms. Remember, this is combining those terms with the same last name. If they have no last name or no namers, I can combine those because those have no names. Then I'm going to add the opposite to move the constant term, and I'm going to divide by the coefficient. So if I have something like, say, 3x plus 6 equals, let's say I'm going to make it 24. Okay? I can skip all these first four steps, and I'm going to move the constant term. This is my constant term. Okay? It's constant because it's never going to change unless I do something to it. Okay, that 6 is always going to be a 6. If you remember from hands-on equations from last year, this is like the cube number. Alright? So it's never going to change unless I do something to it. Unless I add, subtract, multiply, or divide this number. So to move it, it's already positive, right? So I'm going to add the opposite. Well, the opposite of a positive 6 is a negative 6. The opposite of a negative 24 is a negative 6. Okay? These become zeros. So now I'm left with 3x equals 18. Okay? Now I'm going to multiply or divide by my coefficient. Well, here I'm going to divide, okay, because this means 3 times x. Remember, multiplication is magical. I don't always have to show it. And to move it, I have to do the opposite when we're moving things across the equal sign. Opposite of multiplying is dividing, so I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. Okay, and when I do that, I get x equals 6. Alright, let's go ahead and look at some problems. These are going to be examples of your assignment because I'll be gone. So make sure you have these down and you understand them when you come into class. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go through our first step. Our first step is to write this on a separate sheet of paper. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to write it myself. R divided by 2 equals 6. Well, I'll go through our steps. That was step 1. Step 2, do I have any subtraction? I don't, so I don't have to worry about step 2. Step 3, do I have any parentheses? Nope. So I don't have to worry about that one. Step 4, do I need to combine like terms? I don't. Step 5, do I need to move my constant? There is no constant because I have a term, I have it here. So in order to move this 2 to the other side, I'm currently dividing. So remember, we have to do the opposite. So if I multiply by 2, okay, that's going to shift it to the other side. So now 2 divided by 2, because remember this is 2 over 1, those cancel each other out, so I'm left with r equals 12. Okay, so you have a problem like this, and you'll have a couple problems on your worksheet when you come into class that are pretty similar to what we just did. Alright, let's look at the next one. Okay, this one's a little bit more involved, so let's go ahead and see what we got. So I have 3x plus 6 equals 39. Okay, step 1, check, we did that. We wrote on a separate sheet of paper. Step 2, do I have any subtraction I need to change to addition? Nope. Do I have any parentheses where I need to use the distributive property? No. Do I have terms I need to combine and change the order? I don't. Do I have a constant term? I do. The 6 is my constant term. It's a number without the variable. This 39 is also constant as well. Okay. My goal here is to get my variables on one side and my constant terms on one side. Alright. So now I want to move this to over here. So I'm going to do that by adding the opposite. Opposite of 6 is a negative 6. 6 plus a negative 6 is 0. Okay, so I have 3x equals 36. Now I have 3x equals 36. I want to get x by itself, so I have to divide by my coefficient. So I'm going to divide by 3. Okay. When I do that, I get x equals 12. Uh-oh, Mr. Minnie, what are you doing to us? Well, let's look through our steps and see exactly what I'm trying to do to you or not do. Okay, so first step, rewrite my problem on a separate sheet of paper. So I'm going to do that first. Okay. I'm not changing anything if you look at it this way. I'm not changing anything at all. Okay. I'm just simply rewriting it on a paper. Step 1, that is step 1. Okay. Step 2. Do I have any subtraction, any change to addition? I do. I have it here. So I'm going to rewrite step 2. I have negative 6x plus 4 times the quantity, 3x. I'm changing subtraction to addition, so I'm going to add the opposite. Okay. Step 3. Do I have parentheses? I do. Okay, so I'm going to use my distributive property. Remember my distributive property, all that simply means is I'm going to take this 4 times this 3x. I'm going to take this 4 times this negative 10. Okay. So my next step, I'm going to rewrite it. So I have 6x plus, well, 4 times 3 is 12, so I have 12x. Plus 4 times a negative 10 is a negative 40. Okay. So now I'm going to combine my like terms. Well, I have an x and I have an x, so I can combine those, right? And I don't have to change the order because I have my variables listed first. So negative 6 plus 12 is going to be 6x plus a negative 40 equals 254. Okay? So that was step 4, I combine my like terms. Now I need to move my constant term to the other side. I'm going to add the opposite. Opposite of a negative 40 is a positive 40. Okay? So now I have 6x equals 294. Okay? So that was step 5. Step 6. Okay, I'm going to divide by my coefficient. My coefficient is 6, so I'm going to divide by 6. Okay, I'm going to have to bring it over to the side, so I have 294 divided by 6 goes into 29 4 times, which is 200 or is 24. Okay, bring that down, that's 5. Bring my 4 down, that's 4. It goes into 54 9 times. Okay, so that is 0. So x here equals 49. Okay, even though this one is more challenging, it is no different than what we've already been doing. So let's walk through our steps. The first step is to rewrite it on a separate sheet of paper. Okay? It just looks more challenging because I've added stuff to this. But in all reality, we're doing this the same way we have been doing these from the get-go. Alright? Step 2, change all subtraction to addition. Well, I have that. So let's rewrite this. So I have all subtraction to addition. Okay. I have subtraction here, so I'm going to add the opposite. Now, I need to use my distributive property. Well, I have to do that twice. So I'm going to do it both in the same step. So I'm going to have negative 77 equals negative 3 times negative 4 is a positive 12. Negative 3 times a positive 2 is a negative 6. Okay, negative 7 times a is a negative 7a. And a negative 7 times a positive 8 is a negative 56. So now I need to change the order so I can change the like terms. and use a commutative property. Now, my equal sign is kind of like a brick wall. I'm not going to change anything on this side. So this negative 77 stays by itself. Okay, so then I have 12a plus negative 7a plus a negative 6 plus a negative 56. Now I can combine my like terms. Well, negative 12 or 12a plus negative 7a, I have $12. I owe my mom $7. That means I have $5 left in my pocket. Okay. I owe my dad $6. I owe Mr. McCarter $56. So in total, how much do I owe? Well, 6 plus 56 is going to be 62. Okay, so I have a negative 62. Okay. So now that all equals negative 77. Okay. Now I want to add the opposite because I want to move this over here. So I'm going to add 62. Okay. And it's a positive 62. Well, when I add these, I now have 5a equals 15. Okay, because I owed Mr. McCarter $77. However, I just got paid $62, so I still owe him $15. So now I have negative 15 equals 5a. Well, I need to divide by my coefficient. Okay. So now I have a equals a negative 3. Okay, notice even though I made these problems a little bit more difficult, they're really no different if I can walk through the steps that we've already been talking about. Alright, make sure you write really good notes and questions. And if you have questions, bring them to class and hopefully your classmates can help you. But the worksheet you're working on is exactly the same as that 4 problems I worked out. Alright, I'll see you in class.